Hello, welcome to the video you clicked on to help you get through a little bit of your day. I hope this helps. We are returning to Anno 117 and our current playthrough, trying to get to the point where we're ready to finally, at some point, settle on the new island and experience everything that the new DLC has to offer. So we are going to get started with a few things. I have a few notes for this session, but otherwise we will just see what happens. First, last time we established our primary island, grew up a nice little population there, and settled our second island, which is basically a production island for olives. And eventually we will get to resin. But since I don't have any of those on my main island of Pegasus, we need to grow them here. And we need to make sure that this island is making some money and not costing extra. And that means building more residences and leveling up residences while we are producing the goods we need to produce. But we don't want to level up so much that they require tons and tons of imports. Balancing that out has been a bit of a challenge for me. I don't know the best way to handle that, how much an island should be self-sustaining versus importing. But we do have a significant amount of land on this island and a few things it will need to produce for our other island and possibly to support multiple islands. So for the moment, we're going to do what we can to be somewhat self-sustaining, and then we will adjust from there as we figure out what space we actually need to be using here. I am buying timber because it's fairly inexpensive, and I don't have the ability to have woodcutters on meadows and won't for a while. So for the moment, I'm just going to buy that instead of worrying about producing timber fast enough for this growing community. Let's go ahead and make this live and start adding some more houses and resources. I'm not going to go too crazy at first either. I don't need absolutely everything, but of course anything that adds income is only going to help us in the long run. So we'll go ahead and give them a market here. The tavern is helpful. Population is also going to be crucial to fit in as many people into a small space as we possibly can. I say this with a lot of confidence. Do you hear that confidence in my voice? I know these things. Executing on them is totally different, and we'll see how well it goes. We'll grow some hemp. It's pretty easy to grow. And the spinners also will provide income and knowledge. Both are helpful, not critical for this particular island, but always welcome. So we'll start building some of our optional things over here, I think. And that way we know exactly where our local goods and where our local supplies are being built versus our support supplies. I think that's a smart thing to do. So we'll definitely need a warehouse over here. Get our hemp growing. But I don't also want to enjoy the process. I think starting an island is always a lot of fun. Taking time to decide how it's going to look, trying to find ways to make it kind of cute is fun. that's not what I wanted to do. We want another hemp farm. We'll go ahead and make these kind of irregular just for the fun of it. Even though I think the stone walls maybe make it look a little strange. You can't see them too much on the inner side there from a distance. So I don't think we'll need more than 2. If you watched my previous video, you will already know that I like to put things in pairs for no apparent reason. I figure it's safe to start with 2 for a small community. We're going to have some sheep as well. I have another one here. And there, even though we want to break even, there's no reason we need to skimp on some cute little details like some hedges. Around the sheep farms. I don't know if I like that, but we'll let it go for now. So then we need the filters again. Income is certainly welcome. And happiness is always worth trying to keep up. So we'll have a second filter also. These can probably move at some point if we want the area effects, but we might as well get the area effects of these buildings as well as the homes. So as these build up, let's just make sure everything is working. Everything's getting there. We are just, it's just going to take a little time to get started, but we have the startings of a self-sustaining little community here pretty easily. The Liberty are always much easier, of course. Porridge also is good because of the population benefit, so we can grow some wheat down here as well. Cute. So we can fit more hemp here. We can add more sheep with the sheep. Plenty of room for growth. And so this one doesn't have any area effects, so we'll keep it down here instead of taking up space in our community away from either a house or something that would benefit or produce an area effect. That did not increase our balance because of the cost of production buildings. And I think that's the case often when you have Liberty, but we also just need more people. We are running out of workers for all those buildings. So more houses will certainly help balance out the budget. And we have run out of timber for the moment here, but we are increasing our population, increasing our income slowly with these new people. And we can actually start leveling some up as soon as we have the supplies to do that. So that's very exciting. We have a stable little island here, and now we need to create a trade route so that we're producing these olives for a reason. So let's create our first trade route with Ovid from Fawn to Pegasus. We will load olives. And we want all olives to go for the moment. We'll save that, and now olives will start heading over to Pegasus soon. So on Pegasus, what we need to do is start the rest of that production chain and get olive oil going. This will help our population, our income, and our health. The area effect is health. There are 0 downsides. So we are going to put it wherever we can fit this building close to as many houses as possible. We will throw it right next to the soap maker. Do I like this? Yeah, this side can face the road with the homes, and the loading little cart can be closest to the warehouse. I was wondering if we wanted to just scooch this around to this kind of way so it faces the road over here. Well, now the stairs are not facing a road at all. So now we have this little area. I don't think anything will fit there. So we're going to make some nice, smooth grass. And what do we want to put there? Do we want to put some plants? So let's put some flowers. It took me a long time to realize that you could actually change the color of the flowers. I really like these blue flowers, so we'll make some of them blue. It's our color after all, so maybe we'll alternate. Let's see how that looks if we alternate it. I'm not sure I'm gonna like that. And that got me an accomplishment. I just got an achievement for changing cosmetics so many times. It didn't take that many times to get that achievement. We also have some space down here that's a little bit awkward, and I don't know if I want to fix it, but in the meantime, I'm just going to also make this nice and smooth. Maybe put some plants here. Why don't we just put some more nature down in here? But not too planned out. Make it look a little bit more natural. At least in this area here. All of that, put them right in a row. That was not what I wanted to do. maybe put a few flowers in. So it will take some time for those olives to get here. We are still doing pretty well with our balance. I am feeling pretty good about where we are right now. Let's see how this is doing. So look at this, 215. We are out of debt, out of the losses on Fallen Island. That's fantastic, and it's only going to improve as we build more homes and upgrade them. We are a bit slow in getting timber though, so I'm afraid that we are actually going to have to build those woodcutters that I didn't want to build. So again, we'll put them over here where we produce things for this particular island in particular. But unfortunately, we can't build the warehouse and make these work until we get more timber. So let me just make sure we are purchasing it. Yes, we just have to rely on when those traders bring it. But that's okay. They are producing exactly what we need them to produce, and at least we're not losing money over here. In order to get the next good for our plebeians, they will need amphorae. We will have to produce resin on the other island, and we can't do that until we can upgrade some of their houses. Can we upgrade any of our plebeians yet? No, because they don't have either olive oil or amphorae. So as soon as this gets a little bit more produced and they start getting that need met, we will be able to upgrade those houses and do what we need to do to finally upgrade to Equites. I say finally like it's been ages. It's only been a couple hours that I've been playing this. Let's actually just go ahead and add some wood here. Let's take some wood from Pegasus to Fawn. I think that'll be fine, at least temporarily. I'm just going to make a note to remember to make sure we're not sending too much at more than we're producing on Pegasus, because Pegasus is going to involve a whole hell of a lot of building. There are some traders approaching, so we'll see if they bring timber. Yes. Fantastic. So we can upgrade some of these houses. And build these. Wonderful. So now we need to start tapping resin here. They're going to need raw clay to make the amphorae. which they don't have. So I am just going to send the resin along with the grapes to Pegasus instead of sending clay here and making amphorae and sending the some of the amphorae. Either way, we're going back and forth with multiple products to make a single product. So we will try to find the best place for these. Obviously we need some trees for this as well. I know that resin comes from trees, but somehow I always forget that these resin tappers will need trees. I don't know why, I just do. But I do understand what resin is. I played violin, so I had to resin my bow many times, hundreds of times during my violin playing days, maybe even thousands. Can these reach a warehouse? It seems yes, because it's right there. So we will get those two going. We will want more resin tappers here, just like we are going to want more olives, but for now I think this amount can support the population. If we find that it's not enough and that people aren't getting satisfied on Pegasus and we're not able to send enough of the finished product back to Fawn, then we will adjust. Let's add that to our trade route. We will send 1 load of resin to Pegasus, and we're going to end up sending amphorae back. I always do that. I always hit escape by mistake. We need to make sure we are researching something. We are all caught up. It goes much faster than I think I realized when I clicked the option to speed up our research. But we can help support our Liberatus workforce on Pegasus this way, start building out onto the harbor. Some of these I don't need yet, and that's certainly partly because I'm researching so quickly, but we definitely want this as quickly as possible. And let's see, can we move that up at all? Yes, we're going to put that second. So our resin tappers will soon be free to go wherever they like in order to gather some resin. We have extra sardines, that's great. I'm going to go ahead and upgrade this. Let's see how our balance is here now that we have done all that. Modestly over 0, which is just fine right now. Our ship is trading. I wonder where he is right now. There he is. So for the moment, I really want yet another trading ship. It doesn't require that much maintenance or that many workers, so I figure there's no harm in it. And we're going to be moving so much back and forth until we get better ships with more cargo slots. We just need more ships. Let's also take advantage of our other ship, not have it sitting idle, and do some quests.
Peace and protection is what these people crave.
I don't want to do the protect. I don't really know what it involves, and I don't have this. I don't have triremes yet.
Were you planning a surprise visit?
That's not timed, so we can do that one. So that's what does Dorian want? Olive oil, of course.
Everyone's on a different diet.
We'll get him some olive oil. Diana would also look out. Okay.
What time is it?
Rope is super easy.
The island has always been a haven where people are free.
Give her some sardines. So let's reserve some olive oil for our contracts. We need a total of 8. Is he the only one getting olive oil? Yes, so we need 8. So what we'll do here is have a minimum stock of 8. Oops. That way we reserve those for Dorian instead of giving them to our own people. 21 Pileus? How do we say that? I looked it up. I've seen so many different ways you can pronounce that. The supposed old Latin way, the modern way, who knows? So we can actually go ahead and load 21 hats, we'll just call them. Here for Latium. Do we have enough sardines? Not yet. So we will also reserve some sardines. How many do we? We have 28 and we need 61. 30 some, we'll do 35. We can also very easily just build another fishing hut. Missing street connections. Yes, I know. Do they have enough? Oh, street connections. It didn't quite get to the road connected. She needs rope, so let's load up some rope.
Construction has finished.
So we can go to deliver this one.
Through the waves.
So while we're on the way to Diana, why don't we go ahead and upgrade? What happened? We lowered our sardines a little bit too much. We flew too close to the sun. with our contracts. So we're gonna have to wait just a little bit longer before we can upgrade. But I believe that means it's increasing. Yeah, we still have more than we actually have demand for. So it's not a problem, it's just a matter of waiting for production to catch up after I sent off some of those. You're loading up some sardines here already. But it will take some time to get up to the quantity we need. So, in the meantime, let's see what we can do over here on Fawn to continue building up this island. We have some more wood, so we can build some more homes. What happened here? Oh, I did something wrong there. Okay. I scooted that too close there, I guess. Let's move those around. This is a bit too close to this mine. I might want that to be used for something.
Waiting for your decree.
We really owe you, and not just for this.
And now we can go over to Latium.
Festina Lente.
We're getting lots of timber now, no problem. Great to see. Let's just check our needs balances. Let this even out a little bit. Let them catch up with their production. And we'll see how our needs are before we start upgrading and everything. But in the meantime, our balance is increasing. We're doing so much better on Fawn now. So we need to go back to Pegasus to pick up some more of our contract goods. Oh, we have a decision to make.
Your judiciousness.
Oh, I don't think I've personally gotten this one before. An elder woman wearing manacles stands before you. flanked by custodes. A young man died from drinking a love potion sold by this woman in the market of Pegasus, Benbalian announces. The woman pleads that that many have survived and benefited from her medicines, and the man was sickly. Decide her punishment. Well, we can execute her, and as usual, that seems to be one of the Emperor's favorite things to do. And take a hit on happiness. Take a hit on prestige to exile her, or sentence her to hard labor with no effect. I don't like either of these choices. And I generally dislike taking the easy way out. But that's what we're going to do this time. I just have decided I am not willing to sacrifice any of those things at the moment. How is our balance here? Fantastic. We are doing really well here on Pegasus so far. Now, it's very tiny, so that can change with growth, but we will keep trying to build up our income. These sardines are pretty slow. There's just one per minute, so it's gonna take a little time for those sardines. He wants 8 and we have 8, so at least we can get Dorian what he wants. That's lovely. I want to get Dorian his olive oil. And eventually we'll be using this ship. It is a little bit of a shame to have it idle at the moment. But we will very quickly be needing it.
It feels like it does you good to eat a sardine.
They're happy with what they have. They've got the olive oil all full. Let's start the rest of what we need to make the amphorae. We'll just get all needs met for our plebeians before we take the plunge and level up to level 3. We have 2 clay pits. How is our clay stock? Very good. So all we need is the amphorae. Now, overall, that's going to help our population and fire safety, which is great. But we do have a fire safety hit. Is it worth the +1 income? I think not right now. Our income is doing really well. So we will get a +1 income benefit to a few buildings out here, about 8 or so buildings. But we won't increase our fire risk so much that it's out of control. Alright, let's go deliver this. He will be extremely happy with his olive oil. Dorian's just delightful. Who wouldn't like Dorian? probably going to want
Some ingredients are missing.
more than one potter. Have we gotten any resin yet here? We have. So resin is just on its way from the warehouse. I am sure. Looks like it. Yes, all of the supplies are on the way. And we will begin making those amphorae very soon. But because I like to build 2 of everything, I'm going to build a second one. Where to put it? Just putting it nearby, which is kind of nice and tidy. Interferes with the coal, so we'll put another one right there. We'll have a couple of potters and build up the stores of those amphorae. Those are in progress, so let's do it. Let's commit. Let's move on and upgrade to level 3 for the first time right here in front of our villa.
Privileged to serve.
You certainly are. Everyone is privileged to serve me. And that means she's gonna want some of these, and only an hour and a half. And this is just letting us know we can go to Albion. And
Do the trick.
I'm just gonna click on this to get rid of the notification. So we need a bunch of bread and olive oil. How's our bread look? We have enough bread. Let's make sure that we don't send it anywhere or use it. And as soon as we're done with that quest, hopefully I will remember to change that. And olive oil I'm going to also change, and we're going to increase our production of olive oil, which is not a problem because we can, I believe later, once we get a trade agreement with Dorian, he will accept it. We can also sell all of our extra. So let's get some more olives growing. First and foremost, we need the olives or the olive oil. Nope. And if we can't produce enough, we will have to hope we can buy it in time. I don't know what it's going to take to produce that many. Let's just take a look at the production time for this. So, olives are very, very slow. Oh, I meant to leave some space for a road here. And that means we need to add a few more. So we only get one every 2 minutes from the olives. 2 gives us 1 per minute, so we're only getting 2 olives per minute. That means it'll take 30 minutes to give us 60 olives. Does that make sense? For the oil, it's 1:30. And now is when I start to have nightmares. How do we produce all of that olive oil with this ratio? I'm going to pause the game. Hold on, let me jot some things out on a piece of paper. Okay, so With olive oil, with one source building, what are they called? I don't remember what they're called. With one olive press, we get one olive every 1 minute and 30 seconds. With 2 olive presses, we get 1 olive oil every 45 seconds. I found a time calculator. 3 olive presses, I think, will get us where we need to go. We could put olive presses here because they also increase a lot. So we could have some olive presses in each place. We could have let's put at least 1 here. And if we need to collect them from 2 islands in order to send them to Emperor, as long as we produce it in time, I think that will be okay. We're going to take this challenge on. They're going to have 1 olive press here. And we already have 1 here, so we're going to add a second one up here to get the benefits. I think that's going to be enough. Let's make sure our balance is still good. I think we took a little bit of a hit there because of these fields. We can just add some more houses. See if we can reach this house here because I think that will affect the range of these buildings that are further away. So now we are getting some of those benefits. That's fantastic. We're just a little low on the plebeians, so I want to make sure we have a few extra. We're still not making enough amphorae, but that's not a surprise. Let's also rename this real quick. On to Pegasus 1. Alright, so we are in the process of getting all that together. We can give Dorian finally his olive oil. I knew you'd like that, Dorian. I'm very happy. Can go back and get more sardines and fill that other contract. What's going on with the amphorae? Are we producing? We are. And looks like we're producing a little extra. Let's just double check and be sure we are producing enough to export. I think so. Twice as many per minute as we actually need until we start growing it some more. I think for the moment it'll just take a little time to build up to 50 in order to send that many. We can now build latrines, which will improve our health. We've got all kinds of these buildings because our research is going so fast. And our next big phase is building up what the Equites need and selling on Albion. And deciding when to take the plunge and go to the volcano island. So that's what we accomplished in about an hour of gameplay. This video is going to be a little shorter than usual just because it's a little bit late for me. I've done a little bit too much today because of the bug I encountered with this game yesterday, which put me behind schedule for today. So with all that accomplished, I'm feeling pretty good about where we're at and what our next steps are. I will leave you to the rest of your day, and I will see you next time.